Hello, and thank you for opening February's newsletter. I am so excited to be doing these and excited to be adding in these little videos just to quickly explain the details of what's in this newsletter. So the main point that I'm going to focus on for February is I'm going to go to the market update, and I took some notes, and I have the prior market update from last month up on my computer. So just to reiterate, last month we saw about 93 new listings. This month we're seeing 164. Your average price last month was $235. Your average price this month is going to be $196. So that did decrease. Your sold. So sold, I wouldn't focus on 2 month. Everybody knows real estate goes pretty slow. We close within 30 to 60 days. So typically you only see a few houses actually closing within that same month. Normally never happens. So again, that's low, about 2. Under contract is what you want to look at. So that's going to show you more than just sold. So what's under contract is you're going to compare the new listings with what's under contract. So that's going to show you how competitive the market is being. So if you're just listed and under contract are equal, or under contract is above just listed, that's where you're going to see a seller's market. When you see your new listings and your under contract is medium or lower, when it's quite lower, that's when you're going to see a buyer's market. So last month we saw out of the 93, which was quite low for inventory, we saw 44 of those houses under contract. This month, with a lot more houses that popped on the market, with 164, 85 of those are under contract, which is a more balanced market, leaning towards a buyer's market. And then you have your average sold price, which is for this month 147, and days on the market are generally the same. We're seeing them staying on the market about 3 months. Now I do see that changing. So I want to take a turn and go into what I mentioned this on my Instagram stories, and I got a lot of feedback on it, and people wanted a lot more information on it. So basically what I mentioned is I do see, we basically know that the way everyone gets qualified for a mortgage, and I'm not a lender, guys, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. Take it with a grain of salt, and you know what? The government can always change. They can always take a different path. But what we're hearing right now is that the way our buyers get qualified is going to start changing. So in the past, the way a buyer got qualified only mattered with their what they're bringing in for their income and basically what their credit was. Now they're adding in another stipulation, and they're actually adding in your debt to income. So before, a buyer could actually have 100, like basically your credit was 760. So if you had a credit of 760, you could basically have a debt to income as long as it was like 50%, you're fine. Now they're changing that, and they're making a stipulation that if you carry a heavy debt load, even if your credit is beautiful, immaculate, you're still going to have a higher interest rate. So that affects even people like myself, where my spouse runs a construction company and we take on a lot of high debt that we flip over a lot. We might be paying off the full balances for everything because we're buying materials and getting paid back for them and paying off our balances and have an immaculate credit. But because we show a very large debt load, we would actually get hit with our credit now, or with our interest rate now. We would get a higher interest rate now because of that. So basically what I wanted to tell you guys, and I wanted to make this quick, is that what we're seeing is actually our spring market is hitting now. So if you're a buyer, you're going to seek some competition right now. But also, do you want to wait until May 1st when you don't know if you're going to have a higher interest rate due to your personal circumstances? Now, if you're a first-time home buyer, we don't see that taking into effect because that generally just still looks at your credit more and not your debt to income per se. But so basically what I'm saying is what I've already seen personally for my own listings. I've had listings on since October that kind of got hit with sticking on the market for months and months and months because of the interest rate spiked in October and we just sat on the market. I've had 4 of my listings close in the last week and a half of those ones that have sat and sat and sat, and 2 of them got into bidding wars and we almost got full price on both of them. So, and one had waived inspections, and we're seeing what we saw back in 2020 happening again. I don't know. I think this is what's going on. I can't say for sure, but I just putting it out there. I think with the interest rates kind of taking a little dip, buyers are taking advantage of that and going out and, they're like ready to go. So if you're a buyer, right now is the time, because I had one that still got inspections, still got really good negotiating, but it's kind of good for both sides right now, where the listing is still getting really good, price for their value, and the buy side is being able to still negotiate, but you might run, if you wait too long, you might run into a bidding war again, which is what I think we're going to see in like March, April, until we hit May, when things change. Then we're going to see that dip down again and listings might sit longer. So that's what I have. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. I hope all this makes sense. Please ask me any questions. Again, I'm not a lender. I am just an agent. I can comp your house out any day. I literally had to call a lender and be like, does this sound right to you? Because I don't want to be saying nothing wrong. But yeah, so I think February, it's definitely going to be an interesting market. I have a few listings that I'm pushing to go on early that we were going to put off until spring, but we're putting them on early just because of this up and down. We don't know if this is actually going to come into play in May. So I'd rather them on now while the market is stable and steady. And then my buyers as well, I'm like, this is the time. And, just don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Enjoy the process. I always say that this is buying a home. This is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have a good time. Don't stress out about all these numbers and stuff. That's our job. I like to put it out there so everyone understands a little bit more, but it's our burden and you're supposed to have a good time. Anyway, I hope you guys love this little video added to my emails. I hope I can keep up on this and don't feel awkward, because just to let you know, this was not easy for me. I was like, this is so awkward, but we did it. It's out there. Enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions. Put a comment down below. Email me, because I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. So I don't know. Put a comment down below if you're on YouTube. Email me if you got my newsletter. And enjoy the month of February. Love you guys. Bye.